Good morning, everyone. Great, and welcome to the second Energy Transition Conference. My name is Johan Hustad. I'm a professor at NTNU and director of the Strategic Research Area Energy. I'm also chairman of the board of the Energy Transition Initiative, and that's why I have been given the honor of opening this conference. It gives you great pleasure to tell you that the conference is more than fully booked. Actually, there were 800 who had signed up, but we only have place for a little bit less than 600 here today. And we hope that the rest is watching this online and will take part in the discussions via Twitter. The reason for the popularity of the conference is, of course, the importance of the questions we talk about. In short, we know that the world needs a new energy system, a climate-friendly energy system, an energy system that can provide us heat and power for a lot more people than we are today, with a lot less emissions than today. We have called this conference Energy Transition. It is a concept that embraces the unity we have thought the agreements we have made, like the Paris Agreement. We share the goal. In reality, the world is facing a change that is so big, and it has to happen so fast that it would historically be equal to a revolution or a war. In 10 to 20 years, the energy system in the world will look completely different from today. It needs to look differently. What more is that we do not know how these systems will look like. But we have set ourselves the goal of trying to find out together. And that's why we have gathered the best researchers in energy systems here today, the industry that will produce power and values within the new system, and the policymakers that will have to create the framework for incentives and regulations to make the new energy system come to life. And perhaps, most of all, the students. I love to make a point of the importance of the students. You are the future. You have fresh minds and will enter the workforce with skills, creativity, the boldness, and the mindset we need to get new research, new ideas, change the industry, change the policies. We will do what we can to get you started with the knowledge we have today. Then you can take over. So how will the energy system of the future look like? We do not know. But we, together, will find the way to make the transition. Today, we will address 4 key issues in the transition. First, we take stock and look at the mid-century strategies. Take a look at policies and predictions for the industry and transport sector and ask ourselves, are we on track for the 2-degree target? Then we take a look at the money. How will the transition be funded? We know that climate risk is important for investors and will move the markets. How can we factor in financial risk in our strategic planning? Next, we will take a look into the flexibility of the energy system. We will never be able to control the wind and the sun, but we do need to have a system with predictable access to power. We need something to balance the renewables. The question we ask today is whether natural gas, with or without carbon capture and storage, will play the role in the transition. And if it does, what role will it have? A short-term substitution for coal, or a long-term role as a part of a new climate-friendly energy system? Towards the end of the conference, we will raise the bar and turn to the unknown. So far, we will have discussed known technologies and developments in these. What happens when technologies converge within the energy system? Could it be some radical new innovations? Could that change the whole system? These are all questions we address in the research initiative called NTNU Energy Transition. We collaborate with the best researchers in the world, the industry, and the policymakers. I'm really looking forward to the sessions today, so I will not delay it further. I'm happy to introduce the director of NTNU Energy Transition, Professor Asgeir Thomasgaard, please.
So hi everyone, I'm Asgeir, and it's a pleasure to welcome you all. One of the ambitions of the NTNU Energy Transition is to create a meeting place for researchers, students, academia, policymakers. And I think to solve the energy transition and the climate challenges, we need to bring together academia and decision makers. And this conference is one important tool to make this happen in NTNU Energy Transition. As you will see, there's going to be a lot of discussion and dialogue during the day. And we also have a student competition for sustainable development, where you can see the exhibition outside, where the students will present their ideas, and during the day we'll vote for the winner of this student competition. I'll say first a few words about NTNU Energy Transition. We are a new initiative. It's created in the interface, again, between industry and academia. It was jointly created by Statoil and NTNU. Together, they put 50 million kroner on the table to kick off a new research initiative on energy transition. The main purpose is to understand what will the future energy system look like, but also to do research on how are we actually going to get there. And that's the important questions that we are going to address during today's discussions. How will different strategies affect climate and other sustainability goals? Can we keep up economic growth in doing the transition? And will we create new jobs? Will we keep up the welfare of society in the process? I think to answer these questions, we need an interdisciplinary approach. And NTNU Energy Transition have a core in energy policy, in energy markets, in scenarios, in public engagement, in innovation, energy systems. But we also want to integrate this with all the excellent technology research going on at NTNU, in SINTEF, and around the world. And I think it's in this interface between the social sciences and between the technology research that we will find many of the answers of these questions about energy strategy and climate mitigation strategy. So, to summarize, one of the pillars we're building on in this cooperation is between academia, industry, policy. The second is multidisciplinary research. The third is international cooperation. As you will notice during the day, we have an excellent expert group in the front row that will engage in discussion with the panelists and the speakers on the stage. And I think that's going to be a very important part of the day, to get this not like a traditional conference with a monologue, but with discussion between the stage and the expert group and the audience. So this is what I suggest you do. You try to engage also with these experts during the breaks. You engage with the students during the breaks. And I hope you will really take the opportunity to use this excellent group of people in the room to have good discussions during the day. And I think one of the best ways to make progress is putting the difficult questions on the table and have an open dialogue. And this is, at least for me, what I hope will be the main takeaway of this day. So please enjoy.